Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. We fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom. And to keep
On this episode of Cigars and Sea Stories, Bennett and Mike sit down to discuss unexpected Liberty trips. Like, just, you got a 96 for the weekend, and maybe it was unexpected because you guys did some cool shit as instructors or something. I know, few and far between, but it actually happens every once in a while. And the reason why this came up is because, and I wish Andrew was here, we've had him on the show before. He invited me on an unexpected 96 from Quantico down to Charlotte. And, I drove half the way. He drove the other half. We were good. It took him until 30 minutes, I want to say, outside of Charlotte. And he was like, hey, man, totally, just wanted to mention to you that, like, you've really got to hit it off with her friend. Otherwise, you're not going to have a bed to sleep in. And, okay, thanks, bro. Sweet. So I'm like, all right, so I'll lock on my A game. And I got drunk and tried to dance, which was great, and it worked. So I wound up having a bed, and him and his old lady had the couch. But it was awesome because, A, I didn't know that I was going to wind up going to Charlotte, which was a fantastic city. We only went into it the one time, and it was like a blur, but I've been there since. And later on, he and his girlfriend kind of, they went and did their own thing for like a day or so, and I was hanging out with this chick for the weekend, which was fantastic. It was a good time. And we wound up picking up a British footballer, so a guy from England who played soccer, if you want to Americanize that. And so we went out to Boone, which is where her alma mater was. And I had never been out there before. That's where Appalachian State was. If you're a Michigan fan, I did not assassinate anyone out there. I completely understand why you would want me to. Appalachian State took away, I don't know, they beat Michigan one time in football. So anyway, we went out there to Boone, and it was a kegger. We were like the only two Marines. Andrew's like, dude, we're going out, we're getting haircuts. Or at least this is how I remember it. Right. And he's like, we're getting haircuts. And I'm like, why? Why the fuck would we do that? We're on a 96. And he's like, A, because then we don't need to worry about it. And B, just trust me. You know what I mean? And so we went to this bar, clean shaven with fresh haircuts, out in Boone, North Carolina. And it was like, just stop the music kind of a deal, like drop dead gorgeous women. But all of these like hippie mountain men type guys were dancing around and shit, in this bar. It's like they cut a little bit of t-shirt and turn it into a headband, and they're all, it's like shoulder length hair and tie-dye and shit like that. It's just, it was weird, man. And so, we're a couple of 6 foot plus Marines who are well built. Like, it's time to bust some hedgerow. Dude, it was good stuff. In the land of the short and the ugly, the 6 foot Marine is king. Can I just say that? Can I say that?
Right, sure.
Is that fucked up? But it was cool, though, because this chick that I was with that weekend, busts in while I was talking to these 2 or 3 other women next to the bar and stuff, and she was like, stop fucking with my Kool-Aid. And I thought that was cool. And then we did it.
Nice.
That's a sea story on a futon. Hello.
God.
Dude, good times. It was like their old frat house place kind of a thing, I guess you could say. It was like their get-together pad that these 2 guys still had, like they owned the home. Mm-hmm. And it was up in the hills in Boone, and it was gorgeous. It was very cool. We're not talking about a dirty shithole. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And it was just a completely unexpected. I had no idea that I was going to have this trip. It was, yeah. She wouldn't let me smoke in the car, so during a traffic jam, I just got out and walked next to the car and lit up a cigarette. It worked out. It worked out.
Dude.
Dude.
Oh,
It was me.
man.
It was me. It was me and the Brit too. He was like, "Can I get a hit at that fag?" And I'm like, "No, but I will give you a cigarette."
Right. I love it. Gotta love it.
Dude, entirely unexpected road trip. Had no idea that I was going to be going down to North Carolina. I didn't know we were going to have a 96. I had no idea that any of that was going to happen. Yep.
So craziest 96 story. When I was in the Marines, oh God, I don't even know what year this was. Mid 90s at some point.
Mm-hmm.
There was a good buddy of mine and two of his friends that he had been in a you know, like gone to boot camp with, or you know, one of those friendships, like they went to SOI together or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Well, they had gone down because at Lejeune, you know, you're only about 2 hours from Myrtle Beach. So a lot of guys swoop down to Myrtle Beach for the weekends, and then they come back, you know, and you go down there with some money in your pocket and no
a backstory.
Right. No plan on staying anywhere. Right. No plan on staying anywhere. So it's all about either hooking up or whatever.
I was a space shuttle door gunner, and I always needed to leave for a test launch. It's like
Exactly.
they hear the jingle of your belt.
Right.
Eric? Where you going? Eric?
Right.
Yeah. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I got a fucking test launch.
I'm out of here.
I gotta
just
go,
called
baby.
me from Canaveral. Well, what do you mean? You don't have a phone on you or a...
You got a fucking pager.
My time was before then. So we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have pagers. We didn't have shit. Right? So nobody did, because if you did, you had a lot of money, and none of us had a lot of money. You know, this is when pagers, when you had like a monthly plan for like a pager, and then you like carried around a phone card, you know, or whatever. It's just asinine. But anyway, so we none of us had any of that. So we get down. All right, so these two guys, they had met like previously that summer. In the summer, they had met these girls from Canada, all right, in Myrtle Beach. And I guess Myrtle Beach is also a big, not only is it a big tourist thing for the South, a lot of Canadians come to Myrtle Beach.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically from the Toronto area.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, they met these girls. Well, they decided that, all right, so they decided that they were going to go visit these girls on a 96. It's way outside the 96 zone, you know, the 300, what is it, 720 miles or 700 miles? 700 miles. Remember, you had to get a waiver.
A Libo shit.
A Libo shit, a waiver, you know? So.
An out of bounds shit.
Oh, no, we did not get a waiver.
We did
not get a Libo.
There was no out of bounds shit.
There was no out of bounds shit for Canada. They're like, yeah, go fuck yourself. So we were like, you know what? Fuck it. We're doing it anyway. So like they had approached my buddy like, hey, you want to come? And you got another buddy that wants to come too?
To Canada?
To Canada. So this is from North Carolina. From and the cherry on top of all of that is it's December. And
we're gonna go get some French fries and gravy.
We're gonna go get us some poutine.
Oh God, I'm driving to Raleigh Times after this. I'm getting poutine.
Yeah,
all right,
poutine is like the nectar of the gods.
Oh, it's so good.
But anyway, all right. So and see, I live in upstate New York now, so there's plenty of places that have it here.
Oh yeah, you got Labatt's and Molson and everything else up there.
Yeah,
that shit's like moonshine.
So yeah, let's go to Canada without Libo chits. And only thing that we have is a pickup truck.
This is like the opposite of those Tijuana stories. You know what I mean? Like I allegedly went to Mexico once.
No, I
You know what I
allegedly went
mean?
to
Like
Canada.
you're going, dude. You're
Who
where are you
allegedly
going?
goes to Canada?
Where are you going, you guys?
Unless you're stationed at Fort Drum.
You're going
Who
to
allegedly goes to Canada?
You're going to full nude, all alcoholic strip clubs.
Right.
That's what you're doing.
So, all right. So
Smoking legal weed.
So we decide this is a great idea. Let's do this. Right. We're all, like 20 something, whatever.
Oh my God, dude.
So the pickup truck that we're driving it's a full size Chevy, but it doesn't have a capper on the back, and it's only a 2-seater. So it doesn't have a king cab, but it does have a one of those flat covers on the back, like a tonneau cover, but it's made out of fiberglass and it's flat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's perfect for 2 guys in sleeping bags to get up underneath and sleep in sleeping bag. Right?
The whole way up.
So, yeah.
Oh my God.
So, but it's on a rotation. It's like an 18-hour drive.
Right.
Right?
On a 96.
Yeah. So it's
well,
like
that's like going
drive,
home to Michigan.
17-hour drive, but we got 4 guys, so we just rotate. That's
like going home to
guy
Michigan.
Out of the back, boom, 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 and we made it. Then we went into Toronto. Now, all right. So the place that we went is like right outside Toronto. Oh shoot! I honestly don't remember the name of it. It starts with an O.
Oh.
Shoot. Oshawa, and then we went into Toronto and like partied, whatever. But we stayed at this girl's house that he, had met in Canada, and I can't remember if her parents were there. So it's like these 4 Marines show up, and like we're like staying in this chick's basement. Right?
Is this like a French Canadian? They're okay with this kind of a thing
they
going
were
on?
fine with us sleeping in the basement, and mom even made us breakfast.
Really?
But they had
was
a
it French
hot
fries
tub
and
outside.
gravy?
No.
What was for breakfast? Be honest with me. What was for breakfast?
I don't remember. It was like eggs and.
Did they make Canadian bacon, but they called it bacon?
No, it was just regular.
They didn't.
Bacon.
It was thin sliced ham, and then they called it.
So
did they call it American bacon though? They made regular bacon, but called it American bacon.
I don't remember.
Or did they call it Canadian bacon and make it and just call it bacon?
You're an ass. I know that they just made bacon and we just ate it, and we had it with like French toast or something and some things like that. But then, all right, so
the toast makes sense.
One of the nights that we were actually there. So one night we went to a club in Toronto, but the other night we just like stayed in, and like a bunch of her friends came over, and they had a hot tub. So you would get in the hot tub, and then we would go like dive in the snow. But it was a lot of fun, man. I mean, we had a good time. It was weird.
That is good. Yeah.
So we stayed there like 2 nights, and then like early the next morning, we like, Sunday or whatever, Monday, because it was one of those weird Marine, or did we leave at like 11 o'clock at night or some asinine thing? I remember because the Marine Corps did the stupid noon to noon.
Yes.
NBSPs. So yeah, that was it. We left at like 8 o'clock. That's what it was. We left at like 8 o'clock at night to get back by noon. And I remember pulling in at like 10 o'clock at like 10:30 in the morning. And like we all ran, like took showers, and we were ready for formation.
Right.
At our respective units.
Oh God.
Yeah, but like coming from Canada, and dude, I remember driving in the snow, and it was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It was nuts.
That's so good.
So I don't remember a lot of details. I remember some good-looking women.
And body shots.
Just at a club in Toronto that was a little crazy. Lots of dancing, lots of alcohol. And then a party at her house, like her parents went out of town. for like that night or something, or maybe she kicked him out of the house for that night because it got stupid in that house. You know? Yeah. It was crazy, man.
Oh, that's
a lot
like
of fun though. A lot of fun.
My buddies had a suite in Laughlin for one of our balls. And I went in there, and that was literally the first thing that came to my mind was like, shit is stupid in here. It is fucking stupid. There's a bunch of stupid shit going on in here. Sorry. That's immediately what I thought of when you were saying this chick's house. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The debauchery that immediately comes to mind. I mean,
it wasn't like hedonism or anything. It was just like, but it got crazy, you know? Those crazy Canadians, man. Yeah, man.
Oh, all right. So one time this was unexpected, even though we had a 96. We didn't know what we were going to do. My wife at the time had something planned with another one of the wives, and it worked out in just a way to where like I didn't have shit to do, and I was going to be alone for 2 nights. Which don't ask me how the fuck that worked out. So anyway, the guy sleeping on the couch downstairs to be like entirely nameless. I pass a plate of eggs across the fucking bar to him, right, in the morning as he's scratching his ass, coming to life. And I'm like, what's up, dude? What do you want to do? Like, legitimately, I have 2 nights that are open. And he's, no shit, he's like wiping sleepies out of his eyes. And he just, bing, is immediately awake. And he's like, you have 2 nights that are entirely open? I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, we're doing the Vegas. I'm like, oh, shit. Don't say that too loud. Don't say it too loud. You know, and you're what? You're 2 hours if you're driving properly from 29 Palms. You're an hour and a half if you're us. I mean, we're the assholes who are catching air in the whoop section next to the train tracks coming out of Amboy, like going way too fast. Oh, dude. And it was just stupid. And it was not classy Vegas. There was nothing classy about it. It was nothing. You don't want none of this. It was, dude, it was.
Right.
Dude, it was one of the, like, it was in the blur. You wake up and him and a hooker. I'm like, oh my God, another cigarette. And, you know, you stumble out onto the balcony and you're like off the strip. You've got to walk a little ways in order to get into the actual casino. The sun's coming up and you're like, fuck that. I'm not dealing with that shit. Fuck that. You get a bottle and it's legal to walk around with a bottle. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, dude, you can just fucking wander through that place. And that's all that I did. I just wandered through Las Vegas, and then my buddy called me up. I was drunk as shit, and then it wound up being like, hey, let's go to the Crazy Horse 2. You know, let's go. Oh, dude. My buddy blew chunks on the fucking roller coaster in New York, New York. He just fucking blew up everywhere. Dude. And we go walking off of it, and he's like, do I owe you more money? Because he was like, $50 to ride this thing. And he was just so pissed. It was so good. But he puked everywhere. It was just like, dude, you are a fucking mess, man. Yeah. And it was, it was really good times. And it was one of those, man. You know, like, I did the Vegas a couple different ways because that was really the only place that we could go. You know, if we wanted to go down to Palm Desert and stuff like that, but really, what do? You know what I mean? Like, just go get drunk and walk around Las Vegas.
Basically it. Like,
you know,
we did a lot of that, like Libo, like weekend and 72s, 96s. Like, I mean, but we would like, because at the time my mom lived in Connecticut, so we would, you know, and that's where I went to high school and stuff. So we'd swoop back up to like Connecticut and like go out. We'd hit New York City and that some of the times. But then sometimes like we would literally be like, all right, well, let's just go and see where we end up. And we like end up in DC for a weekend, or we'd end up in like Charlotte or Atlanta, or, you know, that happened a lot, man. I traveled, Baltimore.
See, that's
And just how stupid that was, but it was very, and literally it was like, let's go eat food, drink, and
yeah.
find chicks.
Well,
And that
dude,
was it.
It started.
It.
I'm telling you right now, it started for me very early on in the Marine Corps. I wanted to just. It was the first weekend that we had off, right? In SOI. It was the first weekend, and I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to sleep in. I, for some, by the grace of God, did not have Firewatch. And so I just wanted to just sleep the fuck in, and I was going to be good.
We always had enough guys in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
To pull Firewatch. You know what I mean?
To pull weekend?
I can't say that I ever once.
I did once.
I can't say that I ever once had to, other than when I got put on restriction.
Dude, I had fucking Saturday night and fucking Sunday evening.
Now, when I was in the Army, I did. There were times when I'd have staff duty or CQ or whatever. But you got to figure. All right, so a lot of it, I think, had to do with that. I just didn't live in the barracks.
Oh, yeah, no. But this is SOI.
Right. No, I didn't have any of that. I just don't remember it. I don't remember having. Now, we did do an impromptu trip. Me and two of my buddies did an impromptu trip to SOI, or when we were in SOI, to Myrtle Beach, and we were not supposed to. And my buddy rented a car, and we got caught, and he got his shit pushed in by the, he ended up not getting in trouble, but he ended up getting in trouble, but not in trouble.
I bought a crotch rocket when we were in SOI.
Oh, I remember you telling me this story.
You were not allowed to have a POV when you were in SOI, and I bought a fucking crotch rocket in Oceanside.
Why wouldn't you?
I bought a crotch rocket in Oceanside on credit like a fucking boot. That's what I did. It was a jigsaw. This bitch is mine. 21%. Suck my dick. Where do I sign? Take my money. I'm going to war. I don't give a fuck. Oh, dude, it was so stupid. I mean, this is well over a decade ago, okay? I am not this dumb any longer. It was so stupid to have that motorcycle. So stupid. I'm so glad that I had it. So glad I had so much fun on that fucking thing.
Awesome.
Oh, man. So I'm in SOI, and all I wanted to do was sleep in, and my buddy grabs a hold of my leg, and he starts, like, pulling me out of my rack.
Oh, my God.
And I'm going, what the fuck is going on here? And he's like, we are going into fucking San Diego. I am done with this place. I don't give a fuck. We're free. Let's go. Like, this is bullshit, dude. They freed us already. You know what I mean? And so, anyway, he had Firewatch that night, which is why he was still around. We got released on Libo Friday, and I said, I'm going to get a full night's rest, get on the shuttle in the morning, because I walked down there and talked to the guys and said, are you going to be here in the AM? And my buddy had Firewatch that night, so I was going to stick around for him, but then he was going to let me sleep in. And so he was like, you're done. Let's go. I got to get the fuck out of here, man. I got to get the fuck out of here. I'm like, all right, let's do this. All right. All right. And then that was like, we took the Cloud9 shuttle, right, from 52 area out to I-5 into the 8. And then you spill out of the 8 right into Old Town. And that's where you've got Les Girls, the Body Shop, IHOP, and the Good Night Inn. And it was just like, oh, dude. And the Good Night Inn was my first unexpected kind of Liberty trip where I just had no idea where the fuck we were going. I just had like a backpack with my buddy. And it was fun. It was good. Just kind of like going with it. You know, you don't need to be crazy. It's not like, no, we got one fight. There was only one fight. And it was in Hooters. So it was kind of a fun fight. And it was Navy and Marines. And it was good. It was all right. You know? But it's not like we were going around beating up homeless guys. That's fucked up. You know? We're right. Drunk. We were drunk on Liberty. That's just...
Jesus. It's awesome.
Dude. Tattoos. Oh, yeah. And like, so good. Everything that you want in the military experience, it can be found on Liberty.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Oh, dude. San Diego is one of the greatest places on earth. Did you ever spend any time out there?
No, never. I mean, I've been to San Diego, but never quality party time.
We did it up. My buddies got a hotel room, so we went up there and drank with them, which was fantastic. But I was married at the time, so like I would get a hotel room with her somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I could never get the baller status. I always had to go to my buddy's party that was at the baller status penthouse, and then get baller status adjacent, right, with my lady,
right?
Because they had like 20 guys that were going down on a suite. And so they all just, threw a badass party. It was great.
Right.
In order to help pay for it. It was such a good idea. Anyway, that and like Coronado Island. Have you ever stayed out there?
No.
Oh, man. See, I figured that you would have because you're a recon, Bubba.
No, yeah, but no, I never. I mean, we went out there, but I never got to stay out there. I never got to do any of that stuff. The time that we spent in California. It was mainly northern. We did up in like north of Santa Barbara. We did out of Lompoc, out of Vandenberg Air Force Base. Spent time there.
Oh, I'm like, Lompoc, isn't that a prison?
Yeah, there's a federal prison there, but it's an actual town that's where Vandenberg Air Force Base is as well.
Yeah.
So that's where we were billeted. So we spent a lot of time there. Did some stints in Alaska, which got kind of stupid, like alcohol wise and whatnot.
When you have young men trapped together, and it's like,
yeah, man, but yeah, it gets dumb. What else? There was yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. But we didn't get to do like Liberty. I mean, we did to an extent. Like if we weren't out, we did like rotations. We do like a 5-day rotation out on a relay site. We would do a 5-day rotation patrolling and all that stuff, and then we would do a 5-day rotation running duty on the TOC. And then, but if you weren't on TOC duty, you got to go out.
Yeah,
because we had rental cars and the whole thing.
That's crazy.
So we'd make we'd get one guy would be the designated driver, and let's get it. We'll be back in the morning. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you could come back to sleep, whatever, but you could also stay out on the town.
Yeah. Well,
and then we had some stupid Libo going on in Egypt and Israel. It's just all the stories are kind of the same because they have to do with drinking and just dumb shit. So, all right. So here's a good story from Egypt. In Egypt, in Nama Bay, that's what it's called, outside Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt. All right. Now, part of the story is secondhand knowledge because I wasn't there, but part of it, a lot of it is we went out in a massive group. Went to eat like at the Hard Rock, because why wouldn't you go to some touristy fucking thing? So at the Hard Rock,
get a fucking cheeseburger in Egypt,
right? But we found so what happened was after that we walked around and we found this bar called the Camel Bar, but it's run by an expat British soldier. Brilliant. And we were more than welcome there. Like they had a rooftop where you could smoke hookah. It was an amazing place where amazing thing has happened. He had 50-cent pints of Guinness, the equivalent of 50 cents, right? And dollar shots of Jameson.
Jesus.
So you can imagine how quickly downhill that went.
Right.
I mean, you could sit and drink Guinness all night. It's only 4%, 4.5% alcohol, like 4%.
Right.
But when you start adding
Jameson.
shots of Jameson and start doing Irish car bombs,
Right.
shit gets wild. And then you go up to the rooftop and pick out a flavored tobacco and smoke the hookah, which it's not, even if you're a smoker, that shit will knock you on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah.
So we did plenty of that, but it's like, imagine
Yes,
like the bohemian pillows on the ground, like covered with carpets, and because it doesn't rain there, so they can leave the rooftop open like that. It was amazing. So you're overlooking like the Gulf of Aqaba, and dude, it was crazy. And lots of, but there's lots of Europeans that summer they go on holiday there, right?
Right.
And there's some huge hotels there. Well, so from the hotel rooftop, you can see, not the hotel, from the Camel Bar rooftop, you can see one of those giant slingshot things, the ride where they put you in that little like globe and they pull the freaking cord and you go like shooting up into the air. You know what I'm talking about? So this one's like so big that it's probably illegal. They would never.
See, I've never been on one of those things. I don't know. It seems sketchy.
Right. Yeah.
I'm too big.
Exactly.
They would
never allow this one in America ever. It would fail every safety inspection and everything. Right. But it's a big attraction there. They also have go-karts that go like 70 and basically don't have roll cages and stuff. That. So obviously pretty safe as well, right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
But anyway, so we're talking about this giant slingshot. Right? So now here's the secondhand part. I'm watching this all happen, but from a distance, so I can't hear them. So we watched our buddies run down there, and I'm like, hell no, I'm not doing that shit. So me and like 3 of the other guys stay back, and we're watching it. And it's probably like a quarter of a mile away. We can see it, pretty good. It's all lit up. So we watch them go down. They get in line. They pay their money. And then we watch them. And we can hear yelling. But it's you can't. It's audible, but it's not discernible. You know what I mean? So you can hear, So we can hear it. Well, we get back. And 2 of my buddies. 2 of the guys that went are in front of the other guys, and they're just everyone except for our one buddy, who's this kid, God, and I cannot remember his name, but he's this big Samoan kid. He was from Hawaii. But he's not from Hawaii, but he's Samoan. Shit, and I can't remember his name, but he lived on Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? He's a Pacific Islander, let's just put it that way. And he's the only one that's not laughing. He's like, shut up, shut up, shut up. And everyone else is laughing so hard, they're like falling on the ground. So they finally get back up on the rooftop, and they're dying. And we're like, well, what the fuck happened, dude? And they're like, all right. So we get strapped in. It was him and another one of the guys were strapped in. And they had been giving him a hard time because he didn't want to go. Like once he goes, like, you're a bitch. You don't want to get on there, and you're a fucking bitch, like just needling him. Right? So finally he gets on. And as soon as they strap him in to the point of no return, he realizes, fuck, I want to get off. And they're like, fuck no, you fucking bitch. You stay on that. And he starts, dude. So then they like basically like grab the cord out of the operator's hand and like pull the freaking thing, and all you hear, and I wish they had gotten it on video, like video or something, because one of the guys had a video camera with it, and I'm like, why didn't you do, and he was too drunk, he couldn't. But anyway, so this big Samoan kid screams like a girl and starts screaming, I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch. And it's just dying. Everyone's dying.
Oh my God.
So we had some shit like that go down. Stupid antics on the go-karts. guys going to Israel and getting STDs and all kinds of shit, dude. There was just craziness going on there. And then 9/11 happened and it all shut down for like 2 months. All fun was suspended for about 2 months.
Right. Secure the happiness.
Secure the happiness. We're in a holding pattern until November. We didn't know that, but that's when they actually opened it back up. Basically, because the other countries said enough. The commanders of the other contingents went to our battalion commander and were like, "Yeah, no, we're done. It's time to let these guys have some freedom again." You know, because it was the American. Because we could drink on base there. In Egypt. It was one of the best missions I've ever been on in my life. In comparison to like anything else. We had free flowing alcohol. You could go in one night, you could go from England to Hungary to Italy to Egypt and get a taste of all the cultures, alcohols, food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a great freaking deployment. It was cool.
Ugh. Good
and
stuff.
And the liberty on it was good because we get to go from when we weren't going there, we would get to go up to Eilat, Israel, and that's a seaside resort town in the bottom of Israel, and that's literally where you see chicks in bikinis with M16s slung across their back. It's a little discerning. It's a little crazy, disconcerting. You see, wow. You're like, holy shit, that's cool.
Right. Percentage of rapes, 0.
0% rapes.
That's what that is. 0% chance of rape over there with that woman.
So literally, you're walking
assault rifle.
So cool and I've said this on other episodes. Is we're literally walking through the mall drinking Heineken.
Right.
It's amazing.
With assault rifles.
You have to get patted down. You have to get patted down and put through a metal detector as you're going into the mall. And there's dudes standing there with MP5s ready to tear your ass up if some shit goes awry. You know what I mean? Because it's a terrorist target.
Well, right.
But then,
talking about Israel.
Once you get through security, they're like, "Yeah, man, have a beer and walk around." This is pretty cool.
Yeah. There's this, I can't remember the name of the mall, but it's on the Strip in Vegas, and it's got a Venetian like feel overhead, and then the sky and all sorts of shit like that.
That's the
It's right next to the Venetian, if not even in
yeah.
it.
What the hell is it called? It starts with an F, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't remember.
But it's awesome because I've gone in there. This is a long time ago in my first 4 years. I would go in there and I would get a yard, right? And I was the guy who would like wear a yard around his neck, just walk around, get shit faced. It's like a straw, the straw that goes all the way down to the bottom and just feeds into your mouth, and you're just walking around with your buddies. It's like tightened up to where all you need to do is bend down the half an inch in order to get some booze into your body. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Been doing that. The hands-free mechanism.
Is it the mall? That's the mall at Caesar's
That's
Palace.
the mall. That's
yeah, it is. It says it. I'm looking at it. It's got like the canals and everything inside.
Yep. And you get drunk in there.
At Caesar's.
And ride around. Done the gondola thing.
And then what's the other one?
I was so close to jumping out. And the other thing is Fremont Street Experience. Yeah.
That's got all the shit on the ceiling, right?
Yep.
I think so. I think that's what it's called.
That's like further down the way. I think
that's like a mall too, but there's like a Harley in there, a Harley dealership, and some other stuff.
Yep.
But anyway.
Oh, unexpected mall. All right. Unexpected mall on unexpected Libo trips. In the middle of Georgetown, there's a high-end mall that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I our birth dates are very close. And so I didn't realize this, but they had a Benihana's down in there. And there's this really cool spiral staircase and all of that, like French Quarter iron that's in there and all sorts of stuff. And it's like a subterranean mall. It's pretty gnarly.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah. Pops out onto the waterfront. It's pretty cool. And then the waterfront's cool. Got kicked out of the waterfront because, hand to God, there is a gentleman of Arab descent, I will say that, put his hand on a lady and slapped the shit out of her in this, like, open bar area. And then his buddy, he, like, turned, and then his buddy stood there, kind of as like a, you can't hit this guy. Like, now I'm going to defend this guy. Right? When the woman turned back around, kind of grasping her face. It was weird. It was like that dude was his bodyguard kind of a thing. I was fucking pissed. So I grabbed this dude by his shirt, ripped him my way, and like slapped him the exact same way that he slapped the lady. You know, whoever the hell she was. I don't fucking know who she was. And so I slapped him like a fucking bitch. And then this dude grabs me right on the second go around, like I was going to come up with a closed fist on this one and start giving him the manly ones. And he grabs a hold of my wrist and throws me back into the crowd. So I regain, and this massive bouncer, like giant African-American gentleman, escorted me out hard and just, whoo! And I was like, that motherfucker is beating a woman in the middle of the dance floor. But of course that came out like, that motherfucker, son of a bitch, you fucking asshole. And then it was like,
right.
You know, it's time to, you know, in my coherent mind now, I'm like, listen, here's the thing, sir.
Here's the thing, sir.
That gentleman over there done smacked that lady.
Assaulted that woman.
Had I gave him a what for? That was the way, but it was like, that fucker.
Yeah. Drunk assholeness.
Like,
I don't speak drunk asshole. Okay.
So into a taxi.
I'm not fluent in moron.
You know. Oh God. That was so good. I got laid that night. Suck it. What's up? Dude, don't hit people. You know what I mean? But I got rowdy.
Yeah.
I got rowdy. It's okay. I didn't get hit in the face. He got hit in the face though. I slapped him. Slapping a man is way worse. I'd punch somebody in the face, don't get me wrong, but slapping a dude is way more like
it is.
It's so much more disrespectful. It's just like, oh, you got slapped in the mouth like a little bitch. like a kid, like a petulant child that didn't get his way.
Straight up, just like this, just like just got smacked. You just got
you got the hype man. That hit a bitch.
By a large African American man.
I called him Jupiter. Like, fuck you, Jupiter. Son of a bitch. Motherfucker. Dude, he escorted me hard. He was like, all right, boy, you're out of here.
This is one of those instances. This is one of those instances where your drill instructors did you a complete disservice because you thought you were an invincible motherfucker.
Right.
You're like, I'm a fucking Marine. And this guy just fucking manhandled like you're something.
He wrote me up.
And then you're trying to come back at him and he's like, no, bitch. Get out of here.
So, yeah.
Oh shit. You gotta love those instances where the Marines just think that they're unstoppable because they've been brainwashed to the point where like, yep. When they don't realize, no, you can't come at people like that with a frontal attack.
Right.
That's when you got to get shit needs to get dirty.
But I was good though. Like he didn't want to hit me.
Movements and shit. Fuck dudes up. Anyway.
Oh, dude. It was, yeah. That was one of those nights. It was good times. That was like the waterfront
Libo story.
The waterfront and McFadden's until McFadden's got shut down due to too many stabbings and people falling off of the bar because they would let people dance on the bar and they're like drunk women in heels sliding around like fucking like figure skaters across the bar or whatever. I never, it's cool that you let chicks dance on the bar and I get that. I totally understand. But like, why are you allowing these women in platform heels down shot after shot after shot and then somehow teeter their way up to this fucking bar that is slippery with liquor? Like the numerous head injuries. So bad. And yet so good. It was a really good bar. It was just
Crazy.
It was one of those. I liked some McFadden's. My current wife and all of her friends, that's where we used to go hang out. The beautiful nurses of Georgetown, we used to go party at McFadden's.
Right.
That dude, it was good. But too many stabbings.
Too many stabbings and errant women falling off bars, breaking their necks. Jesus.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
Folks, subscribe, rate, review the podcast. Do it. Give us a comment, please. A comment would be nice. I mean, it's not like, out of desperation, we're just going to keep doing this. But, just tell us if we're on track. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Stuff like that. Yeah. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thanks to the network, Heroes Media Group. Check them out. They've got a huge variety of shows, and it's growing. And it's being molded by Adam Bird, who we had on the show, fellow veteran. Heroes Media Group, check that out. We've got other Sea Stories coming in. If you want to be on the show as a guest, by all means, get in touch with us. We'll shoot you a link. We'll have you on. If you have a Sea Story in written form that you'd like to get to our editor, again, just line up the intro, no big whoop. We'll make it happen. So, we just love sharing crazy sea stories.
There you go.
Yeah. You got anything for the good people before I wrap this bad boy up?
I don't.
I'm in a few words.
At the end. At the end, I am.
Jupiter, wherever you are, thank you for not breaking my jaw. I appreciate it, buddy.
Jupiter. I love it.
And on that note, we cue the music.